going on, fellas? So, I just woke up. My voice might be a little weird. I just lit for a cigarette, so bear with me. There she is. There is my new, old 1998 Sportster. Now, some of you experts out there might notice, wow, that's really weird. That has not a Sportster front end. Well, that's because it has a Dyna Fat Bob front end on it. Yep, has Dyna forks all the way up, which it took a lot of machine work. I know the guy who pretty much built this thing. It's a 98 Sinister Blue, I think he said, which is kind of rare. So what I want to do to it, I'm not going to chop up the stock tank and fenders. So yeah, it's all there, 10,000 miles. I got a box of parts in the truck to finish it off. We just threw it together so it would, threw it together just to get the fenders and the gas tank and shit on. So my basic game plan for this thing, hardtail struts, Bob, not that rear fender, but Bob A rear fender. Depending on where, because I'm thinking about a Springer seat too, because I don't want a true rigid. I need some kind of suspension for my fat ass. So whenever I get a seat plate mounted up, I'm going to measure off of that, come back a few inches, cut the fucker. The tank, definitely, probably just a stock, like 3-gallon Sportster peanut tank. Anything smaller than that's just ridiculous. My Road King 5.5-gallon has definitely spoiled me. That wheel's probably going to stay. Probably just try to clean it up a little, even if I get a wheel similar to that, if that one doesn't clean up very good. And then a similar wire spoke front. Now, I don't know if I want to stay fat tire for a good ride, or go like a 21-inch skinny to try to get that more old school look. White walls, of course, though. You guys know me. It doesn't run right now. What it needs is some screws got sucked into the engine and blew the fucking spark plug plumb out of it. As of right now, what I know for sure is it needs a cylinder head, which I already bought and have on the way. I also got a top-end gasket kit. I'm going to attempt to do that myself, but it'll be my first time, so bear with me. If I tear it apart or start to tear it apart, then it's like, well, fuck this is way too hard. I might take it somewhere, but I got a coworker that has a Sportster manual for 9703. He got a new Sportster. He don't need it anymore. He's going to give it to me. Between that, YouTube, and good old-fashioned elbow grease should be okay. So yeah, big plans for this. I've always wanted to build a hardtail, something old school looking. Obviously, ape hangers. I don't like those bars in the slightest. They don't look bad. They look kind of good, actually, but they're not comfortable. For me, anyways. Good old-fashioned, probably 14s or 16s. I'll have to measure just to make sure, because that's a lot of time and effort in the bars if you're not going to like them. But yeah, odds and ends. First goal, got to get it running. If I tear the head off and there's scoring in the piston from where that screw is jumping around, might have to buy a new piston, but that should be about the worst of it. And if there's a score marker too, it might be okay. I'll have to call a shop though. Matter of fact, I'm dropping off my Road King tank today to get relined, because the tank liner's pretty much falling apart. So I'm going to get his 2 cents on it and see what he says. Obviously, forward controls. It's set up for mids right now. They're not on the bike. That's why we put those wood blocks in front of the tires. That way it wouldn't roll on me or anything, so we couldn't put it in gear. But it mainly just needs put back together, so that fender and tank are staying for now. If I get it, the cylinder head on and everything runs good, then I'll start worrying about bobbing the fenders and putting a different tank on it, you know. And then a standard Sportster ignition, because I'll go peanut tank. It has the tank switch. And the plug for the Sportster ignition, I thought it was on this side. I was wrong. It's right here. All I got to do is plug it in. That was just wired in for the current speedo and shit. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll come out real nice. I said all the other parts are in my truck to put it back together. And I figure with the hardtail struts and a bob fender, I'll cut that piece off that sits behind it, cut that off right there. To hell with rear turn signals, we don't need that shit. This is going to be like a twice a day of a week kind of bike down the street and back. Just something fun. Bar hopper, as they say, but I don't go to bars, so I'd rather drink at home. It's cheaper. But yeah, that's the new project. Make sure to follow the build. We're going to be getting started on this soon. Ed, my Road King painter, is starting to prime everything. He said he wanted to get it done by the weekend. Because the guy that's redoing the tank said it should be done in a day or two. It just takes a while to dry, he said. So, hopefully I can pick that up by the end of the week and everything will be in primer by this time Sunday. We can only hope. So there she is. And while I'm thinking about it, the ring around the headlight's almost a little too big for me. That black ring and this black is all plasti dipped. It's chrome underneath. So it don't look too bad. We'll see how it looks though. It's growing on me. But those bars definitely got to go with some ape hangers, of course. With that being said, hope you guys have a good one, and I'm out.